Coming up on November 22nd at the ANB Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, David Benavidez will be defending his WBC World Light Heavyweight title against two-time world title challenger Anthony Yarde. Currently, David Benavidez has a record of 30 wins, 0 losses, and 0 draws, with 24 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is 6 foot 2 inches with a 74-inch reach, and he is 28 years old. Anthony Yarde, on the other hand, is a British fighter with 27 wins, 3 losses, 0 draws. 24 of those wins coming by way of knockout, and 2 of those losses come by way of knockout. He is 34 years old, 6 years older than Benavidez, and is looking to try to win a world title for the 3rd time. Let's start with Benavidez's resume. Benavidez has fought his fair share of top 10 contenders, from Anthony Yarde to David Lemieux to Demetrius Andrade to Caleb Plant, Alexander Gvozdvik, and David Morrell. Benavidez's resume is starting to shape up to be something special. He has fought very good contenders at the super middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, and he is following suit with this trend fighting Anthony Yarde. Yarde is coming off of a trilogy with Lyndon Arthur, in which he won by a unanimous decision, but many thought he could have performed much better. Yarde has 2 notable losses, one being to Artur Beterbiev and the other one being to Sergey Kovalev. In the Kovalev fight, Yarde almost won in the 8th round, almost knocking down Kovalev and finishing the fight, but losing stamina in the later rounds. In the Beterbiev fight, Yarde actually stunned Beterbiev and probably landed one of the cleanest punches I've actually seen on Beterbiev before, landing a straight punch to the temple in a all-out war. That is to say, Anthony Yarde, many boxing pundits mention how Anthony Yarde is an unproven world-level contender. But in the times where he has fought world-level operators, he has shown that he is versatile in the ring. Getting KO'd by Beterbiev is a commonality between solid world-level contenders. He did just as well, if not better, than Joe Smith Jr., a world champion, Lucas Brown, or Alexander Gvozdvik. I think Gvozdvik did slightly better than Yarde, but Yarde has proven that he can, in the right circumstances, win a world title. Now he is stepping up against the Mexican Monster. And the Mexican Monster is no slouch. Benavidez, the Mexican Monster, is not a power puncher. He's a volume puncher. To me, he's like Errol Spence, but more vicious and much bigger, obviously, at a different weight class. He imposes his size onto fighters and usually won in the super middleweight division by imposing his size. When he got the win over Andrade retired in the 6th round, and personally, I do not really think Andrade had a good chin to begin with. He wasn't the worst chin, but it was on the lower end of durability. Against Gvozdvik, he won a solid decision, in which against another former Beterbiev opponent. He then fought and defeated Morrell, a fighter who's looked questionable at light heavyweight, but cannot be denounced necessarily as a bad fighter. The Morrell win is not as good as many might think, but Morrell is also a very talented fighter who just has not had the proper experience. Benavidez, on the other hand, has had a lot of experience. And I think Yarde and Benavidez have actually had similar amounts of experience. Yarde has fought longer and has fought over a longer period of time, but Benavidez, as of late, has fought the better opponents at a world level status. Not necessarily for a world championship, but at a world level. In terms of durability, I think Benavidez, without any question, has a great chin. And although I think Yarde will be able to take Benavidez's power very well, Yarde definitely has a worse chin. I don't think their durability will matter too much in this fight, considering Benavidez does not have the heaviest hands, and Yarde's power would probably not be good enough for Benavidez's chin. if we're talking about stamina, well, Benavidez has shown that he can go the full 12 rounds pretty well. And therefore, I think Benavidez will have this advantage. Yarde, again, will have to take advantage of the early rounds. He will have to do as much as he can through rounds 1 to round 6 or 7. And that's why I think this fight is really a problem for Yarde. Benavidez, I believe, is very skilled, and his masterful volume punching will be good on the judges' scorecards. Considering Yarde's open style and the willingness to have a real fight, I think Benavidez will be able to land plenty of shots on Yarde. And considering Benavidez has a very good gas tank and a great amount of endurance and stamina, coupled with his skill and his durability, I do not see Yarde being able to break Benavidez at all. And personally, I think Benavidez will put on a beating against Yarde. I think Yarde will survive the entire fight, but Benavidez might just retire Anthony Yarde and put on a similar beating as he did to Caleb Plant. So for my official prediction, I have Benavidez winning by a very dominant, unanimous decision, where he has a statement performance and says to the light heavyweight division, I am the biggest problem you're ever going to face. I'm very excited for this card and for this fight specifically, and I say good luck to all the fighters on this card. Let's hope they can either retain or win their world titles. This is Zachary Cloutier at Ringside.